Greetings, friends. This is FNGR, and last night I had a long, eventful discussion with an old brony great Psst Analysis where we discussed seasons 6, 7, and 8, Starlight Glimmer, Digi Bro, How Not to Brony, Toon Critic, and a bunch of other things. Please enjoy.
Who's going to actually say, oh yeah, I didn't put in any effort. There's a reason you don't get graded that often on effort, because quality, what the person actually cares about generally matters more to them. They're not, it's such a backhand, and like I can totally tell that some frou-frou, sensitive piece of shit wrote that episode or something like that was in there.
I think it was probably corporate mandate, because a true creative would probably have never said that to anyone.
Yeah,
especially
probably
someone who is coming up, because like me personally, I get told my stuff is shit weekly. And this is by peers. It's like, you need to work on that. That's shit.
Well, look, some people do need negative feedback. Some people need to be coddled. It's not one size fits all. Maybe I didn't see Honest Apple. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
It's where AJ is.
That's where Rarity had an aneurysm and picked AJ as the fashion.
Oh, yeah. No. I didn't catch that one. I did catch a lot of season 7 as opposed to like fucking 8 where I just kind of slacked off.
Here's my how I look at it is near the end of the episode, like, because AJ's like learned about this, like she's kind of, I don't know, she's nervous, and she doesn't like want to say anything offensive, and for that reason she kind of lies near the end. She starts like evading the truth. I know that feeling because I'm in the fucking analysis community. I have a lot of friends who like 2014. Oh my gosh, I had so many friends who were making shit that I just didn't think was that good, and they're like, "What do you think of it?" And I'm like, "I don't think it's very good."
Sometimes your belligerent side was fucking beautiful. Like I remember the Toon Critic feedback where I wound up telling him, do this, this, and this. And then I remember telling you, well, then Bronny came up to me and said a year before then, he said, I said the same thing. And you're like, hey, it's funny? A year before that, Digi said the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I remember all these fucking pasta discussions. They're fucking magical. It's why when I see you at con, I'm like, hey, pasta. That's why I texted you right when I was at fucking con. I was like, oh, hey, maybe we'll bury shit. Who knows?
Yeah. I was still sour from the whole past... How Not to Brony at BronyCon. I apologize that we didn't hang out more.
It's fine. I did have kind of a shitty con this year. If it makes you feel better, so here you go. You got your vengeance. It was kind of...
I mean, was it just shitty in the sense that there was no drama?
No, there's hardly... The way I describe it to people, the high point for drama. I put like drama on a scale 1 to 10, 1 being the low and 10 being the high. Every year... there's like a 3 somewhere. This year is like a 2. Like, there was next to nothing going on, but at the same time, there was like next to nothing going on. It's like when fucking... I say this from a place of love, when Samot and fucking Creepy were like, bugging me, hey, come work at the vending table. The fact that I was there meant that there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
If Anthony Aguilar is working on his vacation, yeah.
Yeah. No, those guys, like, I bought their Alex Jones print, where like he did the Alex Jones impression. That was fucking hilarious. I loved it.
Oh yeah, no, Creepy is a fucking riot, and I would have had an absolute and abysmal fucking con if it weren't for fucking Creepy. Are you kidding me? My cat star fucking said something where I thought she was fucking with me, which, by the way, I did finally hit record on this, and I'm not taking this part out, where she's like, oh, dude, your ex is here. And I got spooked for about an hour, but then I cased the place, I looked around, I'm like, no.
Are you still with Kichi, by the way?
No, that was like fucking a couple girlfriends ago.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you've been out of the loop for a while.
Oh yeah, no, fucking. I think by the time when you had that hiccup with Kichi, it was already over.
Really?
Yeah, I'm almost
because I could have sworn that when I had that hiccup with her, you and her were the thing.
No, we were still on excellent fucking terms. Like basically,
Oh.
basically her thing was, she's like, look, I like everything we do, but I don't want to go out. And I'm like, so can we still fuck with people? Yeah. That's okay. And she's like, do you want to be angry? I'm like, yeah. Do you want to hit me? And I'm like, do a hit piece. It's like, no, I can't do that. And Kichi's been like a true friend fucking here and there and shit like that. And I understand IRL has been a thing and, Kichi's moved on. And that's cool. Like, she's sort of just, oddly enough, the person who went and moved off with fucking all the bronies and stuff, who's living the brony dream, is like the least involved. You know who she lives with, right?
No.
Aeon, Keyframe, Riley, who the fuck else?
Wait.
Goldie.
Aeon as in...
Yeah.
Aeon.
Our Peter.
Oh, Aeon of Dreams. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They're all fucking bunked together. I'm probably forgetting somebody.
Aeon, Kichi, Golden Fox?
Bolsonator used to live with them, and then him and Katie got a place of their own.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. I remember telling her, I was like, do you realize that this is going to be your life? You're moving, you're brony for life now. Oddly enough. Yeah. She's been really cool, but otherwise busy. Every once in a grand while I could talk to her. I got to say hi over at BC, but it was like more in passing. There was like we had one meal, but I was stuck with Lilac at the kids' table.
Oh
no, and
shit.
It's look, I loved hanging out with Lilac, but her boyfriend was a little bit of a weenus, a little bit. No, he was a cool enough guy, but I was like, I wanted to hang out with all these people over here. No, Lilac was a hoot to fucking be around. Fucking Secret Jimmer and Vector were really fucking cool. They were bunked with us too. I remember when I ran into fucking Quill and Led, and I was like, oh, you're a dude. And he's like, excuse me? I was like, Quill's a girl's name. He's like, excuse me? I was like, yeah. And Secret Jimmer's only friends with girls. And she's like, aren't I friends with you? And I was like, shut up. Shush.
Lol.
Yeah, no, I got really annoyed by that. I was like, I don't count.
Wait, you seriously thought Quill and Led was a girl?
I heard the name Quill, and I was like, Quill, friend, Secret Jimmer, it's chick, right?
The minute you just thought she was talking about Quill Stroke.
No, I knew Quill and Led was somebody different. No, he's an okay guy.
Are you still pissed at me that I, like, the whole spat I had back with Kichi?
No, not really. I was over it already. But I did admit when fucking they all fucking when all those people turned on you, I was like, hey Kichi, I do good. She's like, yeah, I do feel kind of okay. I was annoyed.
I was so mad at you when you did that.
I never brought it up, Digi, because I knew he wouldn't have gave a shit. I never brought it up.
Oh, Digi would have fucking, like, he'd be like pasta all the way. Like, if anything, probably
he wouldn't
nothing.
have gave a rat's ass at all. I think Kichi did get on fucking goddamn pub crawl once.
Oh man,
she's like, oh, that was neat. He's like, but she's like, I'm just not that big into anime. I was like, yeah, I know. It's the main reason why I winded up like kind of missing a shit ton of pub crawls is because I got stuck on like a morning shift. So 9 or 10 and where I would start to fucking nod off IRL, and I just like, I can't do it anymore. And that night, we remember going through some nasty breakups, and I'd like try and mention some of my shit, and you know, just wasn't having it on pub crawl. Yeah.
Damn.
What can you do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't like I remember BronyCon 2017. That was like still sort of on the radar with people. They're like, "Oh, you did that," and like
I loved fucking 2017 just because everybody and their mom was there. Holy
yeah,
shit, that was the years. And I realized when I was going into 2018, it was going to be really fucking impossible to fucking beat that, just because I know Editor came out, Anthony C came out. Back I was on at least decent talking terms with Fallen Wish, where I was like, oh hey, blah blah blah.
Anthony C came. Wait, what
he
do
was
you mean?
there. Yeah, Anthony C was there.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I
all
thought you
came
meant like
over to the BC area, not out as in homosexual.
Yeah, okay.
Time
I thought you
was
meant
there.
like came
Brawny.
out as in
no.
left the fandom.
No. He's still there. Brawny was there. Like that whole... Did I tell you we were all watching fucking DuckTales, and one of Brawny's friends came up to me, and he's like, hey, I'm such and such. You're Anthony, right? Yeah. I don't respect transgender people or something like that. And I was like, whoa, guy. I think you got misunderstanding here. I'm not that guy. You seem to, yeah.
I wish I was there, but I mean, meh.
No, that was fine.
DuckTales has turned out to be a great, like the reboot has been.
I loved the premiere. I tried watching the second episode, and I don't know, maybe it didn't grab me. Does it get better? Or was that a good bellwether? Though
the second episode. So
there are some very great episodes scattered around, but for the most part, pretty much every episode that isn't about the children is pretty great, but those are the majority.
Okay. Or I'll keep looking, because I remember when I was watching, I watched a couple shows with Grace. We watched 2-3 episodes of Entangled, which once you get used to the animation, it's actually pretty solid. We tried watching DuckTales, and she wasn't into it, and I went back to watch it myself, and I was like, maybe I liked it because I was around a bunch of cool people. But since you're telling me the ones about the kids suck, I guess I'll have to give it another try.
I mean, personally, I thought that, like, I really liked the spin on the characters. I honestly, they were kind of like nothing before they had their own individual characters. I liked the kid episodes, but
there are some of them are of course also pretty good, and none of them is really bad.
What did
the thing is a bit more. The thing that bothers me more is, Donald had like one episode so far and barely appeared besides that. Scrooge got maybe 2 episodes and is at best regulated to the B plot and doesn't hardly adds anything to the main story.
I gotta make a suggestion to you. I don't know if you did watch it back in the day. Have you watched Venture Brothers at all, Pasta?
Actually, I not only didn't watch that, I didn't watch the original DuckTales cartoon. So.
I was just gonna recommend, because Venture Brothers' new season just started up, and it's so good.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's fucking.
I know of Venture Brothers. I've just never gone. Like, I think it was one of those series where by the time I figured out it was going on, I'm like, oh, I'm so fucking behind.
Oh, but here's the thing. It takes them like 2 years to get to a fucking new season. So, yeah. You could always watch it dyslexically, which will make you even more interested in what the fuck is going on.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, let's put it this way. It won't be like Rick and Morty, where it'll be like, oh, you have to watch it. Like, I'm probably like one of the few people who will mention it.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah. I got to see the premiere of Voltron's fucking thing, because when I was having a bad time, fucking Lilac sat down and made me watch it, and that looked pretty good, actually. I was like, oh, these characters are actually funny, and this is interesting, and the fucking, I don't know, I was just impressed just because when I saw Voltron back in the day, it was schlocky bullshit. But I mean that from a place of affection. And the only person who was telling me to watch Voltron before that was Toon, and I was like, oh. Who was a connoisseur of crap. Self-professed, too, so I'm not taking that out of line.
Voltron is pretty good.
Yeah.
There are some highs and lows, but overall, I would recommend it.
Yeah, personally, I really liked the new direction of. I tend to feel like I'm more into the new stuff. There's few reboots that I don't like. I mean, granted, Teen Titans Go kind of wore out on me. It was fun for like the first season, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done with this.
No, I can appreciate that.
And I was sort of the same way with the Powerpuff Girls reboot as well.
If you ever wanted to see someone pick that apart, did you ever watch Max G stuff?
No, actually, I haven't.
Well, surely you remember Hot Diggity Demon, right?
Oh yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
He does a series called he does a series called Brain Dump, where he animates his review. You won't find it on his main channel, but he which, you know, it winded up getting fucking ripped down for copyright. But he pours into why fucking, you know, Powerpuff Girls. He's like, because it was edgy, because it was all this, and he shows like a comparison of all the real rotten, inappropriate shit that you just couldn't get away with. He's like, they didn't just write out Miss Bellum, they fucking gave Miss Keen a fucking vasectomy and chopped off her boobs, for crying out loud. This is a dumb show for dumb little kids, whereas, you know, Powerpuff Girls was for cringy, fat, neck-bearded people, and it was glorious. It was for a show for little girls. It was the least little girl show. I gotta float this to you just because it's so fucking pure and beautiful. Let's see, Hot Diggity Demon PPJ.
One person who I've recently found, which is just a riot, is DWK. That guy is.
Oh yeah, no.
Where have you been under the last 2 years?
I know. I've been living under a rock. I've been like, I haven't watched really any community stuff.
No, he's one of the last great holdouts. I convinced people. Like who was it? I winded up getting hooked on. Yeah, I got creepy fucking hooked on him. For the brief time when I was in fucking Pete's chat, I remembered seeing DWK, and then Pete removed it, but then someone actually responded, oh yeah, no, DWK is good.
Is he in the Secret Rift?
Who? DWK? No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He's kind of introverted.
Yeah, we had him in Limbo for a couple of weeks, but...
inactive, and then we kind of gave him the chuck.
When would you say was the year where, like, the analysis community hit its climax, and after that point, everything was just downhill?
It's pretty simple, actually. It was season 4, and ever since everyone basically got stuck in season 5.
Wait, who got stuck in season 5?
Silver Quill is still reviewing season 5. Josh only recently got out season 5 by marathoning collab after collab.
Yeah.
But before that, he was stuck in season 5 for 2 years.
Season 4 was the high point that went down.
Well, I can do
and why basically dropped out after during season 5? Tommy Oliver quit during season 5. Digi Bro stopped after season 4.
Thank you for grabbing the mic, Tricky. If I can be allowed to answer at any point in time, I arguably 6 or 7, just because every new season there'd be like a new pack of people that would come in. I'd argue basically about the same time whenever Ninja, Kichi, and whoever the fuck came along for that ride was the last time I saw, like, you know, people worth scooping up. Before that would have been like the Caps Locks, Comic Sans, Emerald Comet, fucking Tyandiga came in, which was a fairly decent haul. I don't remember seeing, there was one group, I'm trying to remember who fucking pointed him out. It might have been ZD, where there was these 2 guys who did these 2 robot OCs, and their backgrounds were made by Gray Silvermane. And the guy came back by just himself without his co-pilot. That was kind of interesting. But you might find 2 or 3 people that are left worth a shit. I kind of like, who is it? Just because it's a drama channel I can enjoy. What's his damn name? Midnight Chimes.
Huh.
Yeah, his artwork leaves something to be desired for. But, you know, cool guy.
By the way,
you also forgot to mention Tricky Fox.
Speaking of like drama-ish and folks leaving, do you happen to have? I mean, this is far-fetched. Do you have the video where Tommy Oliver like came out and left the fandom? I love that video so much, and he took it down.
He took all of them down. I might have the clips of it. I might have the clips of it, like, in various videos, but no, I didn't archive this stuff.
Yeah, it was his Apple Loser's Most Wanted review.
I did wind up making remarks to fucking goddamn, where I kept saying to Ninja, I was like, I think it's getting close, Ninja. I think I'm gonna have to get my Mountain Dew can ready. Where I'm gonna have to fucking get up and say, fuck this place. Did Brain Dump finally get rid of the Powerpuff Girls? No,
that was such a good video.
I fucking defended his right, left, and right to say it, but as much as I like to rib on fucking, what was it, Misanthropony for, when he made the joke about, he sure committed suicide on his Patreon. I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't, I was like, in retrospect, he did fucking absolutely murder it. And I get the odd feeling that Digi got in his ear and told him to delete all his pony shit. Not that it was really gaining.
Digi did?
I'm assuming. That's just my headcanon. I'm assuming it had
probably.
to be Digi going, come on, dude, you gotta get rid of it.
Yeah.
Did this really? That hurts if this video's gone. Fuck. Yeah.
It was such a good video. Because I remember when, season 4, I'd say that's when, it was the high point, but at the same time, it was when you could see the signs of collapse because, entertainment was becoming the new thing. That's when the word analysis stopped, gradually stopped having meaning.
No, I understood that too, but in retrospect, if you can look at Digi as the whole, he did eventually get to that new start over point, and if he ever let it go, I think it's richly of his own design. That's that whole Giguk thing where he had that big blowout where I'm assuming, or Giguk, where I think he probably saw Giguk starting to act a little bit too much, a little too either Silver Quill or Joshy for his tastes, and he's like, I'm going to step in there, and then Giguk sat him down and said, look, man, people like fucking Eyepatch Wolf are already better analysts than you, and it was true. It was absolutely, there were already a bunch of anime analysts who were way past Digi, and it was the fact that, hey, you're already doing fine, man. You should have just shut up, made your money, acted like you were the best, don't act too much of a prick about it, and, your fans wouldn't have noticed. And then you decide to get into a fight, and, people hate you back, and it revealed some of your weaknesses. And then the people who bitched about him, like Why Kick and fucking What, I talked to them. And if you really listen, I have a podcast with What. If you listen to him, just the way he fucking really obsesses, I pointed out to him at the spot, you're an ex-fan. There's no way you're not. This is an obsessed fan who's very frustrated and very annoyed, and he's like, to a point. I'm like, yeah. This is the people who hate you the most. You've created a lot of your own monsters, Digi.
Yes.
And that's the funny thing, when he cracked me when he did that last time, the most I did in the video, I basically just showed the screenshot of where I point out to him, change your password.
Who do you think created more monsters or enemies, Digi or Tommy?
I mean, Tom's enemy is what? Map or fucking Jerry?
No one. I mean, you'd think because he had that whole I'm done with this shit video, you'd have more enemies, but no, that's the interesting thing. I think that Digi, by a clear mile, has more enemies.
Okay, now this comes from, I'm not shitting on Tom. I love him up and down, cool guy. I'd give him the benefit of the doubt in every situation I possibly could, because after talking to him, I was surprised he was a bro. That's partially because of success. Maybe Tom has stayed more humble because things didn't work out. I can't tell you if Tom would have been a massive prick. I certainly can tell you that Digi's success probably didn't help him with his personality.
Probably not.
No, probably not. When I was still on talking terms with Vita, I was like, I get the odd feeling that Digi's parents never sat him down and slapped the shit out of him. And he's like, nope, told him he was a genius, nurtured his every want, desire, fucking, and I'm like, that couldn't possibly go bad.
Yeah, I mean, early on in the fandom, he made I forget what it was, but I distinctly remember him saying something about like that's what his parents did, and he just has way too big of an ego for his own good.
He's aware, but yeah, I get the odd feeling if anybody basically really sat down and tried to tell him otherwise, they'd be kicked to the curb. I think that's what I'm assuming happened with people like fucking Mother's Basement and shit, and that's always been what I've said, to them. And I was like, Mother's Basement probably treated his rest of his friends like they treat everybody else. Oh, they're plebs and I don't have time for them. But he does that to everybody. I remember I caught him on the way coming up. He great, funny personality, interesting enough guy. I tried getting him to come back, I think, for the Pedantic Romantic, who I considered kind of a spiritual successor to Digi, who adored and worshipped Digi up and down. And then I found out Digi shit all over him in fucking one of his streams. I'm like, God, you're such a fucking piece of shit. Digi, I mean.
I'm so like he did that? Really? Fuck.
Basically, he's like, I can't even bother to watch Lachlan's stuff. And yeah, I was like, I unsubbed him a long time ago. And I'm like, God, you are such a classy fuck, Digi. God damn. This kid fucking worships you. Fucking thinks the world of you, and you did this in public. God, you're a dick.
Yeah.
It was in one of his smaller channels, but it was out there, and What and them found it. If you ever want to watch someone fucking... The way I describe Y-Kick, who's one of What the What's guys, his videos on Digi are like, imagine How Not to Brony with God tier editing and way better fucking everything. Like, it's so good. I just sat down, it belongs in a fucking museum. And he doesn't, like, he's done like 2 really good hit pieces on fucking... One of it was like fucking something about fucking Digi's lolly fixation, and he this is how you do a hit video.
And what's his channel called?
Here, let me get Y-Kick. Y-Kick is the better one.
Okay. I love Digi, but I don't like the direction that he has gone in.
What the first video is Digi expose why PCP fails at business, and I hope the other video is still around, because if it isn't, I know I backed it up. Lullacon, the Art of Pedophilia, Should It Be Legal, is the video in question, and it is so good. Here, I'll put it in the chat. Goddamn fucking... He this is how you do a hit piece. He frames it in such a way where he's putting the decision in the audience's hands. Unlike, where Vita's like, I'm clearly telling you which way I want you to go. Now, Y-Kick's basically doing the same thing too, but he's giving you the illusion of choice. But he's framing it really good. It's very skewed. But you can see where he wants to go. And the funny thing is, I've reached out to Y-Kick on Discord. He's like, no, I'm just fucking around. I don't. Yeah, he's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to destroy Digi. I was just being a dick. And that's another reason why I was like, well, you know what? In religion, when someone tries to take fucking scripture and make it their own damn thing, and you've seen the Family Guy meme where Jesus Christ comes out and tells George W. Bush, you know nothing of my work. Don't be that faggot. Don't go against the original intent of something if you can specifically know. And if Y-Kick is saying, I just made this to be a douche, then don't take it any further than that. I'll leave that to faggots like Vita. That was when Y-Kick or Digi went to go debate Turkey Tom, where Tom's like, oh, Y-Kick is a complete genius for doing this, and Digi points out, he was being a dick when he made that video. It was, but it's still masterful. It's still a masterfully well-made. His video on fucking Digi's exposure on why the PCP fails at business, he makes Digi seem like a complete monster who's trying to sabotage his girlfriend and keep her completely dependent on him. And some of the things Digi says from periodically time to time, if you take all the worst of a motherfucker, you can really paint a beautiful picture. For, negative reasons, obviously. He points out, he's like, oh, it's a good thing they decided to side with Uncle Jesse, even though the views are down, because Jesse's back with the PCP. Oh, wait, no, he's not.
Wait, Jesse didn't come back?
Jesse didn't come back after they chose him. Absolutely not.
Wait, what?
No. He didn't go back at all. Fucking Jesse did
Holy
not. He might have by now, but he didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Wow.
About the same time when all that shit went down, I know fucking Digi for a while started shutting off his comments, and then his Patreon started to plummet, so, Digi's fans literally had to yank back on the choke chain and show him who the fuck was boss, and then suddenly they went back on again. And I'm like, yeah.
He disabled comments?
Yeah. No, fucking, that was something that basically is like, these, you people are acting like this is a right, it's a privilege, and I'm going to take it away from you people now. And I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah,
I know Manga Comics started making videos about that. It's like, you've gone full-blown social justice warrior here. And I was like, if you don't like it, here's an idea. Just don't read them. You have enough channels. You can log out and focus on other goddamn ones.
I've read the comment rules on because I'm like a patron of the PCP. And they have rules, on comments. One of Digi's rules, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Honestly, like, after reading the commenter rules, I have no desire to comment whatsoever. Because one of the rules is, what is it? Okay. So there was some, I don't think it was specifically related to Digi, but it's like, read all the comments in the video, make sure that you're not saying the same thing, and I fucking disagree. Like, no.
That's a Jerry rule.
Oh my god,
that's a Jerry Pete rule. Absolutely. Jerry gets really upset if you leave a repeat comment.
Holy shit. Like, that is the dumbest rule ever. Okay, if you have 1,000 fucking comments, I understand, like, as a content creator, I imagine that you would be like, okay, I don't think I'm going to read all these comments. Do you expect a new commenter has to literally go scroll through thousands worth of comments just to see if they can say something? That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, but it is somewhat reasonable to assume that they maybe at least gloss over the first page because some questions tend to get asked a lot.
There's also the
other thing. Yeah, but that's just the nature of the beast.
There's also the other fact that sometimes the comments shown to the content creator aren't necessarily shown on the YouTube page. Like, YouTube's wacky and weird and shit.
Yeah.
There's certain things that just because of I know how touchy Jesse is, I don't want to give him the satisfaction of blocking me.
And they say, because I remember that there was like, I watched this PCP video when it came out, the one on commenter rules, and best guy ever, so Keg, was like hammering away, and I'm like, fucking go, best guy ever, like, you fucking, like, yes, we need someone like him. But I mean, of course, his opinion on the matter is completely, like, it doesn't matter because everyone else is totally on board with strict commenter rules. It's bullshit. Just don't read them. Honestly, like, okay.
You know what's funny about that? Now that you brought up Keg, when Ben was bitching about some shit, he was bitching about how I made fun of him, and I basically I compared. You ever see Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito's movie Twins?
No.
Okay.
No.
So basically, the concept of that movie is that all the good genetics went into one brother, and all the crap that was left over, like a hot dog, went into the other person, which wound up being Danny DeVito. And I compared Nate Kegman was the Arnold of that situation, and Ben was the hot dog goo that got left over. And I remember Ben was sitting there. Oh yeah, no, Ben got pissed off about that. He got really, really fucking furious about that, and he's like sitting there saying, Can you believe he said that? And like Nate's like, oh, did he really? And Ben was just too stupid to pick up on the fact that, Nate didn't give a shit. I'm not obviously still recording. I'm not delusional enough to assume that fucking Nate would side with me. I'm sure if basically push came to shove, Ben would be Nate would fucking obviously fucking side with his brother. But the point is that Ben was too much of a fucking autist to see that his brother just didn't give a crap.
I mean, I love Ben and all that, but that right there reminds me why I fucking love T-Bap.
Oh yeah, no, I love the old Get Up too. But basically, I'll give you an analogy for that since you brought up T-Bab. That's what was it? Dean Martin and Jerry Lee Lewis. You could see who was Dean, and you could see who was the annoying, obnoxious Jewish kid that got left behind after they split up. That'd have been Ben.
Man.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, Ben was capable and fun. I remember basically they left me hanging around for fucking ever. I wound up being on like one of the Frog Faction podcasts for like 2.5 hours.
Oh, that one that was on the TVAP channel?
Yeah, I was on there for a good long goddamn time. We hashed everything out, and I had to learn from Vito what they said at the end because I wasn't going to sit through fucking a 6-hour podcast or however long it was. Yeah. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. And they said, oh, he seems pretty fucking, straightforward and earnest and stuff. And they asked me, oh, what about, your Kiwi Farms thread or your Encyclopedia Dramatica? I was like, doesn't Digi have one of those? Is all that stuff true? They're like, fair enough. I was like, okay, thanks. I'm like, Lord. Hey, look, just be consistent and fair with me. That's all I'm asking.
Those things are just way too fucking long. I've seen them, and I'm like, oh. Well, I ain't watching this.
It's neat. Maybe they should have gone with timestamps. I don't know.
One video I recently watched because, like, they
did say to me, they're like, we really just glossed over you very much, and I had a lot of people in the Rift like at the time going, are you going to hit him for me? And I was like, no, I'm too angry. I'm going to tell you guys all right now. I'm going out there and I'm getting my own. I'm going to get out. I'm slapping the shit out of you, and I'm going home. That's it. And I remember fucking Miss Anthroponies, what about Keyframe? I'm like, nope, this is for me. I've been very cool with these motherfuckers for the longest damn time. And I did remember, I was like, look, I remember when you and Gibbon fucking woke me up one goddamn day, furious that I tipped off Digi after you came on my podcast for free, that I gave him like $10 to look at or $20 to look at one of my videos because I'm trying to butter him up for a podcast, and I had to give you two fucking faggots $20 because your fifis got hurt. And he's like, we should have gave you the money back, but you didn't, did you, faggot? You kept it. Jesus.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, no. And after we had that discussion, they put out the drama video busting my balls because, oh my god, I might have I wouldn't even say sided with well, no, I did side with Monkey Jones, but it's not because I liked him. It's because he was right. It's because how you handled that shit, no matter how shitty of a human being Monkey was, what you did there was a jag-off fucking move. That's it. Hoops.
I didn't even know about that drama bit. That's how much I keep up with the PVC.
Oh, the Monkey Jones fucking blowout was fucking... Monkey was a lot more fucking straightforward. He's like, well, I guess we just have to bend to the wills of a demander. And if you watch Digi's video, it is fucking thoroughly retarded. Where he's just going on and on about it. And I remember watching this going, what are you doing? Yeah, I made a response to that. And that's when fucking goddamn Digi flipped his shit. I got cut off at that point. And and that was the funny thing. When I tried to have Monkey Jones on for a podcast, he blew me off. And I was really drunk in that call, and I wound up calling Monkey a dumb nigger repeatedly over and over again. But yeah, no, I never got Monkey on. I don't particularly like him too much, but he still got a shit deal. Like, hands down. There's no other way of fucking sugarcoating it. If you didn't want him in, you should have fucking been a man, responsible. You guys said you were his fan, then you should have treated him with some respect. Just how you should have treated Dick Masterson with some respect and not gone on to his show and going, I do this and this with, images of little kids. And somebody ought to punch you in the fucking throat. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, you can see I don't have anything to say back.
No, I'm not asking for the world out of Digi. I'm really not. And I guarantee that he's probably like, oh, how dare you?
You're not. Like,
oh, that's another thing.
That. You're not.
In response to this, fucking Sheldon showed me this, which he said this. He's like, this made me re. Oh, Anthony, yeah, he's that guy that ran the PFC. Sheldon's head exploded. Now, I agree. He's. I'm like, look, did I ever collect the Google AdSense off the PFC channel? No. Do you know why? Because it wasn't mine. I was there. I've told Digi several times that I was there. I remember when we were on fucking pub crawl, he's like, oh, that's back when I used to think you were a troll, Digi. I was always a troll. Just, back when you thought I hated your guts. Which he tried to do revisionist history and be like, oh, he hated me all along. I'm like, no, I'm just not willing to fucking kiss your ass and tell you you're always right. But you're not. I can overlook all the little tiny fucking things, like, oh, there's an indiscrepancy. If you give a little leeway with your fans, they'll wink at certain little dumb things, but it's when you fuck up on top of fuck up. Go ahead.
So I know you're recording right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're probably going to put this in a video because this is a pretty big deal. I mean, it kind of relates to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think I needed to do, to make my recent video, is to accept that Digi probably wouldn't like it. Because I guess, like, my channel, in all honesty, like, the only reason I have as much as I do, like, subscriber-wise, is because of Digi. Like, Digi really helped me out in that regard.
Oh, speaking of which, I have a playlist of his old videos that fucking one of my fans threw me. Do you want the link?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, one sec.
But, like, I feel like, I don't know, it got to a point where like, the idea of my channel was, like, bigger than it actually was. I wasn't as great. And what I had to do is I had to accept, look, like, Digi, Tommy, all of them, they're not going to, I mean, they're done with Pony. They're not going to like it. I had to accept that fact.
So there's 63 fucking Digibro videos on this playlist.
Is that surprising at all, what I just said?
No. I know that they're fucking done with it. It's fine. Look, I tried as much as anybody else. I got that animation trying to lure Digi back by kissing his ass and trying to hype up the fucking end there. Do I think that he fucking retold the story in his head in such a way where he stopped liking it? To some degree, yeah. I think he fucking... How do I put it? I know he doesn't like it at all now, because if you remember at the end when he left, his old banner had Applejack in it, the anime one, which made me think, oh, the door's still open. You wouldn't put that there unless you fucking wanted to, but no, it's completely closed. I can't tell you exactly when or where that happened.
So wait, he no longer has, I mean, AJ there?
No, AJ, yeah, long gone. I think it's probably been like 2 revisions. AJ's not in that banner. He's never coming back. There's nothing going to happen. With the last BC coming by, and I'm assuming fucking no one would even bring it up to him. It's unfortunate, but, what can you do? And to be honest with you, the views and numbers aren't there. There's another reason to sit here and look at some of these videos. Look at the old views. They'd still, even now that Digi's channel is on the down click, you'll see like a 30,000. Like even a low B for Digi is like 40, 50. So yeah, he was, for a marketed perspective, yeah, he was right to move on. This is a shrinking field. For analysis, I mean, maybe DWK might have been able to get those right numbers that fucking, even there, let's see. DW.
Well, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, Digi wanted to make it into a career, and it makes total sense. They moved on.
Yeah. But then he fucked with that too. He started fucking with his own because he got bored or fucking entitled. I don't even know why he did it. I remember Didn't
he make a video on like how the analysis community or the anime community was like shit.
He did. He did eventually start, and I remember talking about this with Vita for a while there, and I was like, he'll do this again. He'll do a Molyneux. He'll convince himself I was good enough to come back from the brink once. I could do it again. Not knowing, hey, you got really fortunate. I won't say lucky, because there's definitely talent there. But here's, like, what would be next? Gaming? Good luck breaking through there. You want flooded and saturated. Good luck. You better have some money to fucking weather that storm and have some connections. I know he's been on things like Rebel Taxis and shit, and his name's kind of big, and, Medicare was tweeting out that thing he had with Tommy C and shit. So, and, do you know who's actually fans of Jesse Wood?
Who?
The Drunken Peasants.
Oh, yeah.
I found out about that shit, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm actually surprised of all the shit that goes on. Digi hasn't blocked me on Twitter. I usually don't argue. I usually don't send him fucking ignorant. The most I sent to him is when I saw that remark, I fucking screen capped it and said, so what about this? You got anything to say? Nothing? Okay, fine.
Oh, man. Like, Jesse, once they left, there was no way that hole could have been filled. I feel like, who after the people who are in the PCP left, stopped doing pony stuff altogether, who was out there who you could really go to that was as good?
Assuming that they put out content on a regular basis.
Yeah, but maybe semi-regular.
Well, Silver Quill, Anthony C, Caps was pretty damn good, I thought.
But
people periodically would have their one-hit wonders, like fucking Ty Diga did his thing on fucking what was it? What's that super long fan fiction?
I have no idea.
You do the one that's fucking Bible sized.
What past
Fallout
Sins?
Equestria? Yeah, he did a really good one on that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's fucking that. I've seen other things. A&Y periodically would do stuff, but the thing I think a lot of people missed out on, and I had to remind people this in Voices situation, a lot of these old timers didn't put shit out on the week or even the month. It was oh look, they did 2 or 3 for the season, and part of the thing that I assume probably winded down in Digi's case is when did he come in? You have to correct me on this one.
When did Digi come into the picture?
Yes. What season?
Oh, well, it was definitely season 3. I don't know when it was. Well, it may have been early.
Yeah. Look at it this way. You break into someplace. You have 3 seasons to feed or pick or whatever term you want to use to cull from. Next season comes out now. No matter how good it is, let's see, 24. So we're looking at 50, 60 episodes before then. Now you have to pick from fucking just 24. Right? And it's not quite the big flood. It's not this big massive thing to sift through. It's much more minute, it's much more limited, and people are being really critical and shit, and it's just someone's offering an easier package. And in Digi's way it wasn't. And I'll admit to some degree, maybe not as bad as others. I could say I was slightly better. Everybody wanted to find a way I want to get my piece of this.
Yeah.
And Digi was very hard to get that piece. It was that part was very inclusive as opposed to exclusive. It was very hard to be, and you were very fortunate to get that spot that you had, and even that, it wasn't it was where it was. They were literally the first incarnation of the Just Us League. I remember when we were joking around, one of the calls we had in here when it was me, Kichi, Toon, and a couple other assholes, and she looked up and said, "We really became the new Horseshoe Crew. We're those obnoxious fucking we're those entitled faggots that think they're better than everybody else." Toon's like, "Yep, it happened."
Yeah.
Jesus. But we were way less. I think we were willing to hang out.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think you guys ever
got that entitled or fucking obnoxious about it. No, I don't think so. There was certainly. Look, I understand when Jesse says shit like, you know, Spurgy fans and shit like that. I get it, but they sure did find ways of pissing people off a lot.
Oh, they did. I mean,
still do.
It like, oh, they still do, absolutely. I just like how I looked at it. Well, I remember back then, and you probably remember this too. Season 4, what annoyed me is that like people cared so much about whether they were positive or negative. I just was in it for like the analysis, man. So, I mean, is it unfortunate that they were kind of dicks on a lot of things? Yeah, it was totally
I get that too, but I'm gonna really put that at the feet of John Enner. That was really the mysterious Enner's fault, and to some degree, possibly Josh. Yeah, fucking
Mr. Enner, like
the whiniest, fucking negative asshole there ever was. Basically decided, well, I'm going to be positive suddenly.
Oh my gosh. I like his fucking Twilight Kingdom review. I remember that.
You don't remember. No, I do remember season 4, you were in the Rift, and I turned to you, and I had way too much faith in you at the time. Pasta, you're better than this. You don't have to go out there and respond. Look, faggots like me do it. Now, little did I know that Pasta was way off the fucking range. I just assumed Mod, responsible person. When Biter used to fucking trash you and be like, Pasta's the exact opposite of what you want in a mod. I'm like, Biter's just being a pain in the ass.
When you mean comment, like as in don't comment on the video?
I was assuming that you were going to give a poor showing that would reflect poorly on the group there, and I was like, well, Pasta's someone of substance and value we don't want dragging this down. I did notice that Enner actually went back and covered a couple of fucking brony episodes right now, but I'm like, even if I could get into a fight with him, even if I could do it, I'm like, who would care anymore?
See, I mean, maybe I'm not good mod material. I always looked at it like all my actions only reflect on me. That it doesn't really reflect on the Rift. You know, he makes a video and I say something on it. Well, are you a loon? Who's going to think that everyone else in the Rift Cafe thinks the same way? I mean, obviously they don't.
That in the right hands, for example.
Yeah,
in the right hands, for example, Pete will fucking say, "Oh, this is all a secret Rift thing" or some stupid shit like that. Yeah. Back then, no, probably not. Nobody would have publicly said that. You'd have been fine. Nobody would have. Yeah. I'm the only person who brings up that old ancient shit from fucking season 4. Then the only reason to bring it up is because of Misanthropony.
Oh, Misanthropony!
I kept a lot of those videos. I still have the Digi one, which I never watched, the Golden Fox one, and the Mage one.
I remember, like, I like his stuff sorta now. Every now and then
he's hit a couple of home runs, believe it or not.
He has.
He covered Star Wars, it cracked a couple 100,000s, and I was like, look at you, doing better than Digi.
Wow,
that's funny.
I didn't realize that any of his content made it that far.
Oh yeah, no, he put some time and some love and effort into it, and he's like, I watched the movie 3 times. I'm like, you're hardcore. If you were able to watch the latest Star Wars movie 3 times, you were a tough, durable son of a bitch that I don't want to get into a fight with, because I know there's literally no physical damage that could fucking compete with the mental damage that you must have gone through to go 3 times. Holy mother of God. Here, I'll take a look, just to make a look here. His hit piece on the Nostalgia Critic, Deadpool, 123K. Jedi, the 5th one is 89K. 4th one is 69.
I remember when Matt was Misanthro was a new guy on the block, and like one of the worst ways you can come into like an area is by shitting on a ton of people who are popular.
No one had done it. No
one had done it.
No one even close. Oh my God, it was the biggest thing in the world. And I looked at that and said, holy mother of God. Why is it going to yell at Gold Fox? I was just like sitting there beside myself. Why Goldie? It did not click in my head.
I mean, to his credit, it did get his name out there. Probably not for good, but
oh yeah,
got his name out there.
He blew up when Midnight Chimes did a video where he said the marketing was very brilliant. And Misanthropony's like, I'll have you know that I and then his Reformation fucking series that winded up eventually garnering some views and shit. You know, he marketed himself intentionally or unintentionally pretty damn successfully there. Let's see, how's his latest stuff?
A lot of Road to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
stuff.
But if you scroll through there, you'll see his popular videos are fucking very high. It's a pretty big seesaw.
Oh wow, his Nostalgia Critic is horrible.
Yeah.
That one got a lot.
He really fucking fell out of love with fucking Nostalgia Critic because of all the shit show that happened over there. The real most involvement I had is when I had on Larry Bundy from that show, who ended up being one of the last people who didn't want to leave. And he just did it for the meme, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. I
didn't know he got that successful.
I do remember having this argument off and on again with Peter, because he wound up making the remark that, well, Josh Scorcher's still in college, and he has plans to join, that guy with the glasses. So in the long run, he's going to beat Digi, and I wound up making the remark, like, later on. I'm like, remember what you said about Josh and joining that guy with the glasses, and I've heard so many things about the peanut gallery, the little people, either working for free or next to nothing. I'm like, I think Digi kind of came out ahead. It not as ahead as Digi used to be, and again, that's Digi's fault. But
do you think so? How many subscribers do you think Digi would have if he didn't fuck up?
I'm more talking about the money. I think I remember when he was making 4,000 per video, and let's assume that let's cap that about like 6,000 to 8,000 a month, because I'm assuming people started capping their donations.
Yeah.
So he would definitely probably still be in his first state. He'd still be fucking killing it. He'd still be growing. The sky would be the limit. He'd be an authority, untested, and he'd probably even be able to get away with the lolly crap if he wasn't like picking fights just because people would be like, oh, those crazy otakus.
Oh my.
Yeah. Because his biggest fucking adversary back in the day was that anime snob, and I remember having this argument with what the what. I'm like, he's a work, right? Do you know the term?
No.
Okay, a work is a put on. It's someone who's like yanking your chain. It's troll. It's someone who's specifically doing something either for profit or to get a rise out of you. When I say that anime snob is, he's instigational, like this is done for business reasons. I've talked to a perfectly reasonable guy. I've seen Monkey Jones talk to him. When he came on, he was even able to say a couple in-depth things, and he's one of those kind of people, when he says it, he tries to downplay it. There's a little bit of Medicare snob, where he's like, oh no, it's just content, anybody could do it, very self-aware. And I know Digi would just resent him because, he'd fuck with Digi. But I don't think Digi understood how good he had it, where the only person who's fucking with him is just doing it matter-of-factly for fucking things. Now, his fans weren't in on it. Snob's fans were really dumb and retarded and took it as the fucking, do you know what a mark is?
Yeah.
A pro wrestling term for a fan who doesn't get what they're watching is bullshit. Yeah. A lot of fucking snobs fans were marks who didn't get, what you were watching is a put on. It is a facade, an illusion. Whomst, or who left, if anybody. Oh, Songheart. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, I think the Digi artwork came through. Let's take a look. Oh, baby! Would you like to see it?
Sure.
Oh, boy.
What is it?
It's the thumbnail for when I cover Digi.
Oh, you're going to cover Digi?
Yeah. It was supposed to be this week, but the artwork wasn't done yet. Oh boy, we got our Fu Manchu on here. If you get the term.
Yeah, no, I get the term.
Oh baby.
Oh no, what am I gonna? Oh good lord. Oh good God. Lord. Wow.
You know, I understand that there's a difference between fucking Chinese and Japanese. That's me being a dick. It's just me being a complete jagoff there. And I wanted to do something.
Oh shit, like dude.
I felt the beard really
This is gonna get there. So oh my gosh. You're preparing to make a nuke.
Yeah, I think I'll probably get over. I think he'll take it the wrong goddamn way. And you know what, so be it. Fuck it.
Well, of course he's gonna take it the goddamn wrong way. I mean, like you're gonna be making a video against him. He's not gonna like it.
Yeah. Jesus.
As long as you know what you're doing going in, suppose. Man, I remember the days when you like this was the last thing you do.
No, I still. That's the point where I'm coming at, and I was like, look, Digi, I don't want you to roll over and die. I just realized there's a lolly reflection in the glasses. Is that the one you got?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I actually want to see you succeed, so one day when you pull your head out of your ass somewhere in the far off future, I can come back and I can enjoy your content again. You know, I don't expect you to be a flawless human being. I just don't want you to be utterly fucking insufferable. You know?
Yeah.
How many times do fucking super fans of yours have to come up to you and be like, "Hey man, could you, cut back a skosh just a little bit?"
That's actually, that bit that you said there is actually something that sometimes, like, it gets very easy to forget. I remember when you were shitting on me, and, like, honestly, the reason that I decided to, like, add you back on Skype is I decided to, like, watch some other How Not to Bronies, and, like, I remember going to other videos I did, and, like, you're always there posting, like, oh man, it's pasta again. So I'm like, this comes from a place of respect.
Yeah.
But yeah, not easy. So sometimes when you're getting bashed, it's not easy to remember that.
No, and I have a lot of good memories of people that I've butted heads with over the fucking times and shit like that. I have some fond memories of somewhere of Toon, but it was generally other people, and I realized after he went away, a lot of those people just fucked off too. You take away pieces of the puzzle, the whole thing falls apart. No, I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It is what it is.
Yep.
You know he like. Okay, this kind of goes without saying. He's going to make a response video.
Oh yeah, no, that's the whole thing. And I was like, look, man, you challenged Vita to a debate, so you know where to find me. How about it? And I'm not going to be there to argue fucking morality with him. I'm just going to argue fucking common sense. And I was like, explain to me how you are not at fault for your fucking mistakes here. Explain to me how these were the right and correct decisions, if not for yourself, but for all the people that you're kind of in care of. And I don't think he's going to have an answer for a lot of these. And I think he's going to dodge it because of that. I won't be able to have a surprise because I'm basically going to be laying it all out with, putting it on the line there. And essentially, I don't... It's not so much that there are areas of concern. If Digi were a pedophile, I don't think anyone would call him on it. And I think that's just from his friends and his community.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So at any point are you going to basically like bring up what I'm saying here? I was show, hey, even pasta is like.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was sitting there thinking attaching this call after the argument and then maybe like time stamping the prudent parts. I'm like, at what point, Digi? At what point does enough of your old fans like point out hardcore fans, Digi, not random. I remember when you used to say, oh, you know, Pasta and the Devu have my back. Well, here's one of them. You're getting. I thought about like I might like if you're really asking me not to, I could probably not do it and I'll just include it in a different video. If you're really asking, you know, like I don't want to come along for that ride.
I don't want to come along for that ride.
All right, no, fine. That's cool. I can do this as a this by itself will do just fine because this is actually pretty good. The MLP part, this is just fucking reminiscing. I think.
When did he say that though?
Which part?
He said Pasta and Devu will have my back.
He said that on Pub Crawl once. Where fucking, you know, I don't have to worry. That was back when he was fucking, you know, having beefs with fucking that anime snob. And maybe I didn't know at the time, but you know, hindsight's a bitch. Such a tiny, you know, minuscule snob might have had 30, 50,000 views, and he'd crack around 10, 20,000, and Digi would point out, he's like, he'd only do good, you know, when fucking such and such, when he'd cover drama, which would usually be shitting on Digi. Snob lost his channel, had to come back. Now he does like 1,000, 2,000 views. Yeah, Snob's right in fucking How Not to Brony territory with his view counts these days, which is really unfortunate since I did realize he is a cool guy. And if your biggest concern is someone like this, you're doing okay. Whereas that Tommy C guy who actually wants Digi to go to jail, you've fucked up somehow. You've got someone with rage and fucking presumably sincerity in their voice going, I'm going to make sure that you go to jail. You've done fucked up somehow, and this is richly of your own doing.
But to be clear, like, you're going to use this in like a different video?
Yeah, I can do that. Because keeping the Digi video short enough probably would encourage a response. If that's all I'm wanting, which basically means I'll get more views.
Okay, so
he'll meander out there in his fucking bathrobe.
What would this be in? Would it be in like another Digi video, or
I just throw this at the end of How Not to Brony, or I could put it. I'd rather not put it on Fan and Frenzy because the Fan and Frenzy videos are, since it became a streaming channel, is essentially dead. I would just be like, MLP random discussions, and then I would put like, you know, parentheses drama at the end here, and I'd probably slap some time.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
He
okay.
Would some faggot eventually fucking timestamp? He wouldn't care. He wouldn't bother to bring you up. At most, he'd
again, I still love Digi. It's just I hate what some of the horses he's backing.
When you say that, Pasta, that right there, that specific line, more than anything else, is what I would have wanted to include, because I feel the same way. I'd want him to hear that part. I don't think it'll do any good. I don't think from the most sincerity, if he heard it from as many people as possible, Anthony's gotten in his head, or so-and-so has gotten in his head. Just wouldn't want to hear it. And I don't know.
But I appreciate, man, like, if you don't put it in, I'd really appreciate it.
I would I be all right to allude to it without putting it in? Where I'd be like, oh, hey, you know, even Pasta's had his concerns, or Past Analysis. I'm sure you don't remember who that is. I could probably do something like that. Would that be mediocre enough, or he'd probably...
like...
You know what you reminded me of? Remember that time where we were in the fucking Rift, and fucking Looney pretended he said he had you on recording, and you got all panicked? It was Peter's like, you're being so cute right now, Pasta. You're acting like a little kid about it, dude. Yeah, what would you even have to worry about? Are you even active on any of your social media associated with Past Analysis? You have no way of getting a backlash from this. None. There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing that could happen to you.
Yeah, it's just I don't want like burn that bridge.
There's no bridge. There's the bridge is like fucking like been out of commission. Like you're Brony, my man. But the you getting in when you did, oddly enough, when you did would have been fucking what was it called? Fucking Pub Crawl. Probably was the last fucking ride we could have ever got you in. I remember one week we winded up getting fucking DJ Calcos came on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I still remember when I fucking talked to him, and then Vita's like, hey, you know what's funny? Is he got me into brony drama. I was like, really? And he's like, he can't stand it. And I was like, that is very strange. Calcos did a video on Tune where he's like, I felt some kind of, blah, 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 blah. No matter how small, I feel some level of responsibility. I remember watching it. When we talked to fucking Calcos over in Tune's room, he was kind of less enjoyable than he was on Pub Crawl. Can't say why. Maybe he just act differently with different people. And he just clicked better over on Digi's people. Yeah, Calcos would have probably been the original I know everybody person.
Yeah. I guess, like... See, like, here's the thing. If you say that even Pasta has concerns, at that point, like, you might as well say what you're... Like, show what you're referring to.
I get what you're saying, but here's my counterpoint to that. And you know what truth of the matter is, and I'll go with your respects, but this reflects poorly on you. How do I put this? If you can't say it that nice to somebody, and they're like, that's so unacceptable, do you really want that person's respect? I mean, come on, man. Look, as gently as you can, I have my areas of concern. if someone can't let me say that, I don't want to be that person's fan, friend, or anything. If I buttered it up that much to someone where I've cushioned the blows so much where like, no, you're gone. That reminds me of when I got into it with he was one of Final Draft's friends, Jack something or other.
No, you're right. You're right. Like,
yeah, where I basically there was this guy who was a fucking former big podcaster from Everfree Network, and he's sitting there screaming, "There's this Nazi!" And I saw it was Event Horizon, and I was like, "Hey, Osaka Jack, that's it." I was like, "Jack, he's Puerto Rican. Do you understand? He's not white. He's not a Nazi. I'm look, it's early in the morning, it's 4 or 5, let's all calm down." And he eventually just blocked me, and he refused to hear me out. And I'm not having this discussion. And it bothered me, because I remember Jack blocked a lot of people, but I managed to get in there, and it felt really good. It felt to have that bridge that nobody else can. But at the end of the day, I didn't do anything fucking wrong. So fuck them. Like, Jesus, I did that as gently as I could. Now, granted, the next week I slapped the shit out of him on my show. I was unbelievably pissed off because I'm sitting there really trying to bend over backwards. I'm like, look, he is a troll. Event Horizon is an unlikable asshole, hands down. And Event showed up in the comments and he more or less agreed. I'm like, but he's not a Nazi. You cannot refer to, and I understand why the left is overcompensating with the term Nazi, because they're probably frustrated by a lot of right-wing people going, this is a social justice warrior, and this is their version of tagging everything they don't like with something that doesn't necessarily fit. But, it's a lot. it's a lot to call somebody a Nazi.
Yes,
to throw it around all willy-nilly like, and I
think that, like, generally speaking, SJW is
overused too. No, I get it too.
No. I was gonna say SJW is like so soft in comparison to calling someone a fucking Nazi. Like, are you kidding?
Well,
I'd rather be called an SJW than a Nazi like a million days a week.
Do you know the point is, at least online? Obviously, fucking offline, if you convince someone they're a Nazi, it's the right to beat the shit out of somebody, at least in a lot of people's minds. Online, you have either calling a Nazi or an SJW, you have dehumanized someone, you have cheapened anything that will come out of their mouth, and I can now treat you as a second-class citizen. I've invalidated you and made you something lesser. So, on the surface level, I kind of get where it's sort of the same. But historically, not so much.
Yeah, no, it's nowhere close. No.
Antifa on their worst day, no.
But, like, you convinced me, like, okay, so I'd appreciate if you don't put the actual audio in, but totally, like, feel free to, like, allude to it. that type of thing.
Because at the most, because that's the whole thing. If he does call me on to challenge, he'll probably be like, "Hey, explain yourself," and I'll walk you through it and how to sugarcoat that as nice as you want. There's plenty of ways to fucking sugarcoat that. Look, I'm just concerned. I just want to make sure because we're worried about you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm worried too. Believe it or not, I'm not here to take you down. I don't want you to lose a sub or a view. I just want you to realize why there's some people concerned when you scream out. If you're into what you're into, as long as you're not hurting anybody, especially children, as long as that's not happening, I can certainly walk back a lot of goddamn things. But the way you said it and how you said it, a little less. If you don't understand why that wasn't wrong, I'm prepared to sit here and politely tell you why, especially if it was somebody you respected. Maybe you were drunk that day? Is that why you delivered it? I could also understand that too. Maybe you got a little too big, a little too drunk, and you decided, I'm part of the dick show. I have to ham it up a little bit. I'm playing a character right now. Maybe if he tells me that, I'm like, okay, look, I'm a dumb mark. You got me.
Yeah. But I do wish he didn't do stuff like that. It's like I want to be able to say I'm a fan of Digi Bro without someone saying, "Oh, the Lolicon guy,"
and that's going to be the polite version. that's the super polite version.
That's the super polite version.
Yeah, you were part of our history, Digi, and by God, maybe he doesn't understand why that's just went out of vogue in at least our fandom. Surely someone had to have told him. You know what made me feel horrible? At the end of the Frog Faction video, at the very end, Ben and fucking Munchie asked me specifically, so you know some things about Toon. I'm sorry guys, even if you paid me, even if you put me on, and this is recorded on there, even if you made me a member of the Procrastinator podcast, I couldn't give you that.
Yeah.
I was really proud of myself. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna throw Toon under the bus here, just because I don't want to fucking do it to people who will have no use for me a day later.
Yeah.
This says so much of my character, and then turned out to be such a. I mean, I knew he was a faggot, but I didn't know he was that much.
Me neither. And unfortunately, because of how Patreon works, I literally can't unfollow him because his Patreon got deleted, and so there's no way for me to unfollow.
Patreon actually terminated it. They fucking killed it. He didn't. I remember when that story cracked. I was in the call with fucking Watchful Pony. He's like, I can't believe I'm giving him money. I'm sorry. You're doing what? Huh? What? Stop. Oh yeah, right. Are we having this discussion? Jesus, man, this is a pretty easy no-brainer, I would think. God, you have no idea how terrible that was when fucking. He left all those rooms. Nobody was telling me shit. I remember I was the first person, I think. Yeah, I was like, hey, by the way, Vita, fucking Toon left a bunch of rooms. You think it's anything? I'll look into it. I was ripping my fucking hair out, and nobody would tell me a goddamn thing about that shit. Drove me insane.
The first video I saw on this whole subject was Vita's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Would you like to hear something? I'm going to definitely hit stop here.